everyone. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I am so happy, I am tickled, I'm excited that you are here with me tonight. A week before Christmas, you are here with me, spending the evening with me, Dr. Tamir Piersaint. I am so thrilled to bring back Dr. P, Virtual Storytime with Dr. P. Virtual Storytime with Dr. P will now take place every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you're not able to watch at 8 p.m. Eastern, that's okay. You can always come back and watch this video or the videos that I will share on review, so the repeat of them. So, welcome back. Tonight, I have a wonderful story to share with you, and I'm pretty certain you have probably heard of these guys here. I'll share the screen. You've probably heard of them, haven't you? The Piersaint bears. I love them. They are so kind-hearted. They are bears who teach us life lessons on sharing and caring and love, and they even learn what not to do and how to ask for forgiveness. You name it. They've been through a whole lot. And they like to share their stories with us so we can learn from them as well. So tonight, as I read this story, well, actually, I'll ask you a couple of things. One, have you ever read this book? If you've read this book, I would love to see what you and hear what you think of it. I know I'm saying here and I can't really hear you, but I can read your comments. So I'll be able to see and go through and read to see what your thoughts are about this book. If this is your first time hearing me read a story, or this is your first time hearing this book, I would love to hear your thoughts. Write them down below. Share them so that I know what you think, what you thought about the experience that we're going to spend tonight. So, as I said, with any of the stories that I've read in the past, you know that I look for books that have a meaning, books that help us feel good on the inside, books that help us think about other options we should choose if we're in a situation that maybe isn't the best, and books that just are books that are fun, silly, books that make us feel great on the inside. And today's book is nothing any different from what I've described. We all know that during Christmas time, during the holiday season, we're giving, but we're also taking too and asking. We're asking of our parents, we're asking of our loved ones and friends. We have a list of things we want. Have you ever stopped for a moment to think, well, I wonder what the people around me would like. I wonder what it would feel like, what they would feel if I gave them something instead of me asking of them. And keep in mind, you don't have to only buy things. You can give of your time, maybe helping cleaning up around the house, picking up your neighbor's trash, putting the trash can bins in. If you live in a snowy area, help shoveling in the neighborhood. There are lots of ways that you can give. And so today, the Piersaint Bears are going to share with you what it means to give. What joy you will feel just by giving. Are you ready? I know I am. All right, without further ado, let's get started with the Piersaint Bears and the joy of giving. It was the week before Christmas, and all over Bear Country, everyone was busy getting ready for the big day. There were Christmas shopping and Christmas decorating and Christmas everything. Down at the chapel in the woods, the cubs of Bear Country were busy getting ready for their Christmas Eve play. It was the story of the first Christmas, and brother and sister had an important role. They were to be the camel of the three wise bears. Sister was the front end of the camel, and brother brought up the rear. They thought it was the best costume ever. Can't argue with that. It's a pretty cool costume. Ms. Ursula, their Sunday school teacher, was directing. "All right, wise bears," she called. "Enter stage right." The three wise bears came on stage. They carried gifts and wore long robes, crowns, and fake beards. They followed the Christmas star made of foil-covered cardboard that hung above the stage. The first wise bear played by Sammy Bruno, who had a loose front tooth that made him sound a little hard to understand. "Athar, athar," he cried. "I thee athar." Ms. Ursula sighed. "Oh, okay, Camel," she called. "You're on." Sister and brother followed the three wise bears. But it was hard to see out of the costume, and Sister accidentally knocked over a palm tree. The three wise bears tripped, going down in a tangle. Uh-oh. Oh dear, said Ms. Ursula. "Will we ever be ready?" "So sorry, Miss Ursula," said Sister, poking her head out. "It's hard to see in there." "I'll need to make your peepholes bigger," said Miss Ursula. "That's enough for today, cubs. It's time to go home." The cubs took off their costumes and went into the chilly evening air. "Brr," shivered Sister. "It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas." "Yeah," agreed brother. "And looking that way too." The whole neighborhood was decorated for Christmas. Sister and brother walked home in the soft glow of many colored lights. The next day, the bear family went shopping. It was time for brother and sister to pick out a few special gifts. This year, they had 2 crisp $10 bills from Grizzy Gramps and Gran to spend on others. Of course, brother and sister hoped they would have some money left over for themselves. Sister was saving for a brand new Barbie doll, and brother wanted a special rubber band powered model airplane. They would like some cool gifts, huh? Papa and Honey Bear helped brother do his shopping while Mama went with sister. Brother picked out a Barbie doll outfit that he found on sale for sister, and sister brought a small airplane model for brother. Each cost just a few dollars. Mama and Papa thought that maybe each cub should have spent more money on one another. "What about the joy of giving?" whispered Mama and Papa. It seems brother and sister only care about the joy of getting." "True," agreed Papa. "But let's not interfere. They'll learn about the joy of giving for themselves." Over the next few days, Christmas excitement in Bear Country grew and grew. Brother and sister could hardly wait. They were going to be a camel and get lots of presents too. Play rehearsals went well. Sister could see better out of the bigger peepholes, and everyone knew their lines. But it was still a little hard to understand Sammy Brune. When Christmas Eve finally arrived, practically everyone in Bear Country jammed the chapel in the woods to see the cubs perform. A hush fell as the curtain opened and the play began. First, the angel Gabriel came to Mary telling her that she would give birth to Jesus. Then, Joseph and Mary journeyed to Bethlehem, where the innkeeper gave them shelter in a stable. There, Mary gave birth to a tiny baby who was laid in a manger. An angel of the Lord appeared to the shepherds, sharing the good news of Jesus' birth, so they could go and worship the newborn king. Finally, the 3 wise bears and their faithful camel trooped on stage. The foil-covered Christmas star hung high above the stable, sparkling in the spotlight. "A star! A star! I see a star," Sammy said clearly. His loose tooth had come out backstage. 3 wise bears kneeled before Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. The shepherds and the angel joined them. Everyone bowed low before the tender baby. The 3 wise bears opened their treasures and gave Jesus their precious gifts. The audience grew very still. Then someone in the back began to softly sing, "Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright." And the rest of the audience joined in near the end. Sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Peeking out the camel costume, tears came to sisters and brothers' eyes. It seemed they had never understood the joy of giving until that moment. All the gifts of all the Christmases of all the years went back to those first gifts given to the tiny baby long ago. The Christmas Eve play was over, and the audience cheered. Everyone felt the true spirit of Christmas had been with them that night. On Christmas morning, brother and sister led the family downstairs bright and early. But instead of heading to their own piles of presents, they went to their gifts for each other. "Merry Christmas," they said, holding out their presents. "From one end of the camel to the other," said brother. "Thanks," laughed sister. "You're a first-rate backup." Brother and sister were delighted with their gifts and gave each other big bear hugs. Honey opened her presents, and brother and sister joined in. In the back of their minds, though, they were still thinking about the money they had left over from their shopping trip. Later that morning, the family went to chapel in the woods for a Christmas Day service. A light snow covered the ground, and all of Bear Country glistened in the sun. On the way, sister and brother noticed a group of bears playing Christmas carols. They were collecting money for the needy in a big black pot. Brother and sister looked at each other, dug into their pockets, and dropped all of their money into the pot. That was so kind and generous of them, wasn't it? Mama and Papa smiled with pride. "You know what the good book says," Mama told them. "It is more blessed to give than to receive." "We know," said brother. "We gave an awful lot. We receive, an awful lot. So it's time we gave some of it back." "Look," said sister, feeling in her pocket. "I still have a quarter." Honey reached for it, and sister put it in her hand. Then little Honey, holding on to Papa, toddled toddled over to the big black pot and dropped the quarter in. The bears playing music paused. "Merry Christmas," they all said. "Merry Christmas," answered the bear family. The end. What did you think? What were your thoughts? Did you like this book? Did you enjoy the meaning behind Christmas? The true meaning behind Christmas? I know, because I was a kiddo too. When you receive gifts, when you open up your presents, oh my goodness, you're so filled with joy. You're excited. It's like, as if you were given access to a whole toy store all to yourself, or maybe to your favorite store to get whatever you wanted. Imagine the feeling of seeing someone else receive a gift that you give them. Imagine how loved they would feel, the joy they would feel, and then in return, how happy you'll feel and be seeing the smile on their face, receiving the gift that you spent time maybe putting together, picking out, or creating with them. So, my challenge to you, and I will do this myself too, I would like for you to do something for me, and what I'm asking you to do for me is to give this Christmas. Give maybe your time, helping around the house, helping your neighbors, doing something for someone else. If you have a little bit of money, maybe give of your money. If you have gifts, give some gifts. If you say, well, Dr. P, I don't have any money, I have no gifts to go out and buy, it's COVID, the mall's closed, I can't get anyone anything. Well, maybe there are some toys you've not played with. Maybe there are some clothes and shoes that you've outgrown that you can go through with a loved one. Pick out items that are, they look good, they're clean, that you could give to someone else who may be less fortunate this Christmas, this holiday season, that could benefit from those items. I promise you, if you give, whether it's of your time and energy, or of something that you're able to get or gift from your own closet, from your home to someone else, you will feel so good on the inside. You will feel so warm on the inside. You will love the way you feel, and I promise you that person also will be so grateful because you didn't have to give them anything, but you chose to give them something. So I ask you this holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or maybe Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or maybe nothing at all, find some way to put a smile on someone's face and in their hearts by giving. I thank you again for stopping by for Virtual Storytime with Dr. P. As a reminder, I will be here every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern for a new story. And if you would like to be on this show, Virtual Storytime, in this case it would be Virtual Storytime with Dr. P and special guest, let me know. Send me a message. Leave it in the comments. Get permission, first of all, from an adult. And I would be more than happy to have you share your story, maybe your favorite book, with all of those watching. I welcome you to read in any language. It can be in French, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, no matter the language. If you read in Braille, maybe having someone help you with that as well. If you are one who is deaf and hard of hearing and read through using ASL, an interpreter, you are welcome to come and read one of your favorite stories, one of your favorite books on Virtual Storytime with Dr. P and special guests. Just let me know and we'll work it out. I hope you like and share with those whom you think would enjoy tonight's story. I can't wait to see you next Friday. Until then, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noël, Happy Holidays.